Well, hi everyone. Welcome to Hey Dad, my reaction channel. This is Dad, and tonight's going to be a little advice video for my sons and my subscriber family. It's the end of a long work day at my corporate job at the corporate office, and have the family all settled in. So I thought I'd take a few minutes to share some thoughts on a video that I posted last night, and what that has to do with advice. I did a video reaction by request to a band called Nightwish. A subscriber commenter named Martine asked me to react to Nightwish. It wasn't a band that I'd heard of, and it's in a genre heavy metal that I haven't listened to much of recently. And so, but I decided to do that. I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning 2 nights ago that I set up and was testing a different setup here. And so I pulled up Nightwish and that song, and I did a reaction to it. And that brings me to my advice to my sons and my subscriber family. Dad's advice is to take some necessary risks and surprise yourself every now and then. I was watching some parenting training the other day. Some people that I like to give advice, and the parenting advice was to help your children to learn to take necessary risks. You can't protect your children from everything in life, and so to prepare them for the world, you have to take some necessary risks at times. And when in doing that, and taking necessary risks, you surprise yourself of what you're capable and what you can do, and perhaps surprise others as well. But it's a necessary part of growing up. So I think I tried to do that with my sons as they were growing up, and now they're in their mid-20s, and putting that practical advice to use. And I know that at times they take risks in their life, necessary, safe risks, maybe risks that scare me as a parent sometimes when they take them. But it's necessary in life to take some risks and do some things outside of your comfort zone. Starting a reaction channel. That was a surprise, maybe to some people, that at my age, and me in particular, would start a reaction channel. But I've already explained how that came to be. But as I started a reaction channel, what genres do I want to focus on, and to do that outside of my comfort zone, perhaps. All the music that I grew up listening to, 60s, 70s, 80s, I've heard all that music, so I need different music than I've heard before, which involves taking some risks. Music I may not relate to, music I may not like, but that's what taking risks is about. I talked to my sons today, and I asked them both, do you know the band Nightwish? And my older son said, he had seen my reaction, and he said, so you don't know that band at all? And I said, no, I don't know that band, Nightwish. And heavy metal is outside my genre. And he goes, well, that is this textbook definition of a blind reaction. And I think that's probably what you saw from me, was a blind reaction to the band Nightwish. I woke up today and I checked everything, and I was pleasantly surprised to see quite a bit of engagement, both in views and in likes and in comments. And wow, I was excited to see that, especially the comments. Such helpful comments. And I wanted to respond to a few of those comments here in long form, as well as in the comment section on that particular video. Nightwish. Apparently, you guys all know who that band is, and I didn't know that. Nightwish. So I've stumbled into an interaction with a passionate fan base, and that's a good thing. I like a passionate fan base. That tells me I'm probably going to get some positive and negative reactions to a video if I'm doing blind reactions to them. Couple thoughts. Thank you to Martine for recommending me that I watch Nightwish, and thank you to Gabriel, who gave me a good backstory of who the band is. And I promise, as I'm going to pursue further reactions to the band Nightwish, that I will learn the band members and more about the backstory as I go exploring the different phases over the years. I read from the backstory from Gabriel that the band started in 1996, and I was thinking back today, where was I in 1996 in my life? And the answer was I was 36 years old in 1996 when Nightwish started, and I was had come out of the military service and was starting a corporate life and starting a young family. So I was quite busy at that time, doing a lot of traveling nationwide in America, and trying to start a young family. And so this band got by me. I didn't hear Nightwish. My sons tell me that they've known about the band since their middle school years, and they've known about them for years, and they gave me several songs that I should listen to. I guess quite a formative band for them. And that's a good thing. That makes me really want to dig into this and go down the rabbit hole of Nightwish songs and listen to all the different sounds in their different years. Some of the comments. I did want to respond to some of the comments in a few categories. One of them was helpful comments. I really enjoyed the comment that said, turn the volume up. And that's one of the things as I'm learning this technology, as I'm learning to work with OBS Studio, sometimes I forget to look at the sound settings as I'm setting up which camera works and how the Windows capture works. I forget to look at the sound settings. That's a good reminder that this is all about the technology. But you wanted to hear that metal up loud, and I get it. That was some head thrashing music, and you wanted to hear Floor sing that powerful operatic sound. I'm probably mispronouncing her name, and that's part of the reason I didn't talk much about the band, is because I'm hesitant to mispronounce the names of the members of a Finnish band that I know nothing about. I'm sure I got her name wrong. I didn't know about was it Vaken Open Air Festival? I'm learning about that, and the band members' names. So give me some grace and some time to learn the band members' names as I go through the musical catalog of Nightwish. Turn it up. I get it. And I will promise I will check my sound settings as I start these videos from now on. Great feedback. I love that constructive feedback, and that's why I like the comments section. There was some comments about, I think I made a comparison to, at the beginning, to Du Hast and Rammstein. And what I meant there was in an open-air stadium with that large of a crowd in front of you, when I watched the Du Hast video, not necessarily the song itself, but when you watch the live video of Du Hast, what you see is a passionate crowd responding to the band on stage. And I was getting the same vibe from Nightwish. A large, I think it was 80,000 open air fan base responding to a band they love on stage, and that was the vibe I was getting. That same vibe of the large crowd reaction. I think I said stadium rock, and again, that's what I was meaning. You know, I stadium rock's not new to me. In the mid-1970s, the band Kiss came to our area and played in our high school stadium before they were big. And stadium rock started with me in the mid-70s. I've been to a lot of concerts in my life, and I've been in all venues, from a small intimate theater to a mid-sized show to an arena crowd to outdoor open-air venues. And I wonder, as we went through COVID and things got smaller and sparser, if that stadium outdoor venue was going to come back. And so that was on my mind as I was watching that video. Is that a thing of the past, or is that going to come back, that we go to large venues like the Taylor Swift concert I took my son to, or open air venues? Is that a thing of the past, or are we going to have that more, some stadium rock? So no insult intended by stadium rock. I just mean I was impressed at that 80,000 people outdoor festival in the same way I was impressed when I went to Summerfest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I love that large crowd outdoors venue. I mentioned Kansas in my review, and I think I said it was not helpful to compare one band to another because we all have our passionate fan bases, but the Kansas reference was to the changes in tempo. I like to watch reactors watch Kansas, and I watch Carry On My Wayward Son, and they react to the change in tempo through that song. There'll be a standard chorus, and then there'll be a musical interlude that's completely different. And I got that vibe. I think there was a moment when the band was playing a musical interlude and the drummer wasn't even on the platform, and then I watched the drummer climb back into his seat and then drop the drums. Exciting. And so I had the same feeling, but change of tempo is not related to genre like heavy metal or Kansas rock. I was watching Reactors react the other night to a folk song, Harry Chapin, Taxi. And even that folk ballad, that storytelling folk ballad, has changes in tempo through the song, through choruses and verses, and it stops for an interlude with Big John Wallace's falsetto voice. And it's an uncommon thing for bands to have those changes in tempos. Most songs are formula verses and choruses, and to have musical talent like that, to have interludes like that, reminded me of them. I think I also maybe offended some people by comparing them to Evanescence and Amy Lee, and that's not a bad thing. When you think about female voices that are powerful, the one song I've heard from Nightwish was powerful. I want to hear some more modes. When I listen to Amy Lee and Evanescence do My Immortal, it's not powerful, it's beautiful, and it's moving. But that's not what the Stadium Rock song that I heard last night was. To me, it wasn't moving, perhaps because I don't know the lyrics. It was powerful and operatic and strong. I could have made comparisons to Pat Benatar, who has some operatic training in her power rock, or the Wilson sisters in Heart, who I saw in the mid-'70s in concert. They're all good. They're all good. They're all part of the musical genre, and we're lucky to have heard them all. So no offense intended, as I was blind reacting to a band in a venue. What I was really reacting to was the live music setting, and I missed that. I haven't been in that for years, in the live music setting, and I was reacting to that. I promise the next one I do with Nightwish, I'm going to read the lyrics ahead of time, because I do want to tune into the lyrics of these bands. I wasn't tuned into the lyrics or the band members in the first reaction, the blind reaction, but I will. I'll get that. But anyway, I say all that to say I surprised myself a little bit by picking a heavy metal song and doing a blind reaction to it. I stepped out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I took a necessary risk there. So for my sons, for my family of subscribers, do you do that? Do you take some necessary risks in your life sometimes? Do you surprise yourself? Do you surprise other people who don't think you have it in you to do something like that? And is that rewarding in your life? When you do that, do you find that self-actualizing and rewarding? Or do you find it causes you anxiety to step out of your comfort zone and take those necessary risks? But that's part of what life is about. And I've been doing this for 6 decades now, so I know where I've taken risks and stepped outside of my comfort zone, whether it's work or family or this new hobby of mine, which itself is a risk and out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to get better as we keep going with the technology. I'm really going to explore this band And I'm going to take other risks on the channel. I'm going to find other ways to step out of my comfort zone on bands or genres. And that's why I'm doing it. I've already heard all the songs that I grew up with. I need to hear songs that my sons grew up with that I don't know. And that's what's the fun of it. So, Dad's advice: take some necessary risks. Don't scare Dad, though. Take some necessary risks. Surprise yourself. And surprise others of what you're capable of. And leave me some more comments on this one, perhaps, or back on the Nightwish video. And my sons gave me 3 or 4 more Nightwish songs to listen to, and Gabriel did as well. And you are in the comments, so thank you all for that. I'll see you on I'm going to create a Nightwish playlist and do several more of those, as well as some anime songs that my sons have recommended. And I'm excited about doing this. I'm going to get better with the technology. And I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the interaction. Thank you for being out there. This is Dad, out.